Good afternoon.
Well, good afternoon. Thank you. Thank you for joining this class. So I will start giving this, and I expect more students to join this afternoon. So today we will talk about the 3 levels of reading comprehension, guys. These 3 levels of comprehension will help you develop your reading skills, of course. And I would like to share with you this short presentation. So just tell me if you just see. Just hold on a second, please. All right, now, do you see this, the 3 levels of reading? Slide share.
Yes, doctor.
Yes, words, details, and imagine.
So great, guys. You know that reading comprehension involves 3 levels of understanding. When we say comprehension means understanding. So there are 3 layers, 3 levels of reading, of understanding. We have what's called the literal meaning, المعنى الحرفي, and this means that you read on the lines. Okay, I will talk about this in detail. Okay, so literal meaning المعنى الحرفي, the inferential meaning المعنى الاستدلالي أو الدلالي أو الاستنتاجي, sorry, and evaluative meaning المعنى التقييمي. So we have 3 levels of reading and reading comprehension, 3 levels of understanding. In this session, we will differentiate and define each one of them separately and combine all of them together. And let me just talk about this. The 3 levels of reading. We have what's called close reading. Close reading is a special kind of analytical reading. It's something related to the analysis process, analytical process. هي عملية تحليلية. ليش نسميها close reading? What is the meaning of close reading? نسميها القراءة المعمقة، القراءة الممحصة. Okay, whatever you call it, okay? It's very different from the artificial way of reading. القراءة السطحية هي النقيض للclose reading. When readers read closely, they slow down and think about each word, each detail or image of the text as they read, right? So when we say we are close readers, this means that we slow down while we read. يعني القارئ العميق عندما يقرأ يسوي عملية slowing down، يبطأ في القراءة and think about each word, each detail or image of the text as they read. Okay, so we will talk about the 3 levels of let's say close reading. Okay, we have reading on the lines, reading between the lines, and reading beyond the lines. So these 3 layers of meaning, these are called layers of meaning. They are called also levels of meaning. مستويات كشف المعنى. Reading on the lines, or it is called the literal meaning. المعنى الحرفي هو انه تقرأ انت on the lines what is actually written in the text. Reading between the lines, you infer, تستنتج أو تستدل. This is called the inferential meaning. And you read beyond the lines, ما وراء الأسطر. This is called evaluative meaning. You analyze and evaluate meaning. So we have 3 layers. Each layer is closely connected with the preceding and the coming one, and the following one. They are interconnected. And of course, you can act on each one, on each level of meaning separately, but we are supposed to connect them together. We cannot start with the second level of meaning unless we start with the first level of meaning. I will talk about this. Okay, guys? So far, okay? يعني كل شيء تمام لحد الآن؟ فهمتوا اللي these 3 levels of meaning?
Yes, sir. Clear.
So clear. Thank you. What about you, the others?
Okay.
البقية ايش تقول؟ Okay.
واضح.
So great. Let's start. Reading for comprehension. I will just copy and paste 2 lines, a short story consisting of 2 lines, and I would like you just to follow me up, guys. See this, please. Imagine, I sent you this story on the chat box. Imagine a boy named Billy. He is sitting alone in a corner and building a tower out of blocks. He places one block on top of another. As his tower becomes higher and higher, the more blocks he adds, the more intricate his design becomes. This is a very short story named after Billy's tower. tower هو يعني قصة قصيرة تتكلم عن برج الذي شيده بيلي out of blocks. استخدم هاي القطع الخشبية أو قطع يعني block يعني whatever you call it. So whether it is plastic, cement or wood and so forth. So he built this tower. We can compare this Billy's tower design to the process of reading comprehension. So reading comprehension is just like what Billy has done. This is very nice analogy. فالتشبيه جدا رائع. Reading comprehension is the ability to process information that we have read and to understand its meaning. When Billy built out his tower out of blocks, he built out this as one unique construction. شيده كقطعة واحدة. And this unique construction, one whole piece is built up using many pieces of blocks. يعني بناها باستخدام قطع. هذه القطع we don't know, maybe 1,000, maybe 100, maybe million of blocks, but we have one comprehensive picture. So likewise, على حد سواء, similarly, reading comprehension is the ability to process information that we have read and to understand its meaning. So meaning should be uniquely constructed by its individual constituents. المعنى هو يبنى، المعنى يكون، وليس المعنى transferable. لا يمكن نقل المعنى من شخص إلى شخص آخر. This is your يعني meaning making is your own unique construction of the world. عندما تبني معنى خاص بك. You have different representation of the world. Each one of us lives in a world of ideas and thoughts, and these ideas and thoughts could be reflected differently by many people, right? When you read something, you might interpret it in a different way. We have different interpretations, right? This is a very complex process where skills are built upon one another like the blocks used to make Billy's tower. So meaning making very complex process. عملية معقدة جدا. We need to build each one of these until we get the whole meaning, a very يعني a comprehensive picture, a universal picture. Right, so we will talk about this separately, okay? راح نناقشها يعني كل واحدة على حدة, right? Now,
Okay, دكتور.
okay, you understand me?
Yes, sir. Very beautiful analogy.
Wonderful, thank you. Let's talk about the literal meaning, and I would like to share this with you, basically. The first level is called reading on the lines. It is the literal meaning. Readers find meaning directly in the text. You can literally put a finger in the reading on the text and point to the answer, and the questions like who, when, where indicate or identify that you are looking for literal meaning of the word. المعنى الحرفي للكلمة وللجملة, right? You don't need much effort to look for answers. Maybe you just go through the lines very quickly, glance at each line, at each word, and try to pick up the correct answer. You don't need to analyze or evaluate at all. The literal meaning is simply what the text says. It's what actually happens in the story. This is a very important level of understanding because it provides you the foundation for more advanced comprehension level. Without understanding the material on this level, you couldn't go any further. You cannot take any further steps without going through this level of understanding. So you need to be fully aware of this. You need to get a very basic understanding of what you read. You cannot jump to the inferential level of understanding, of the inferential level of meaning, unless you go through this understanding, very basic understanding. Is that clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Let's reflect on Billy's story. Let me ask you this question. What is the literal meaning of the story?
Sir, the literal meaning is just a boy enjoying his toys, his building blocks.
Great. Excellent. What's your name?
Haider Amr.
Haider. The literal meaning of the story is that Billy a tower out of the blocks. We don't need any analysis or evaluation here at all. ما نحتاج تحليل تقييم at all. We don't need any improvisation. يعني you don't need to improvise. Okay. So the answers to questions based on the literal meaning will always be found in the text. Who was building the tower? The answer is Billy, right?
Yes.
Yes, is Billy.
Yes, sir.
So this is what we are looking for. This is called the literal meaning. The literal meaning doesn't require you to dig deep beneath the surface of the text at all. You get the information literally. I mean, you get the information directly from the in the text. You don't need to think deeper about the text at all. Here are some examples. The main idea. What is the main idea of the text? What are the facts mentioned? The events. What are the sequence of events in the text? The characters. How many characters are there in the story? Who are they? And so on. So these are basically the examples of the type of information that could be identified as literal meaning. So you don't need to go deeply at all. You don't need to go any further. So this is the main thing that we are looking forward to understand, right? So literal meaning is basically you get very, very basic understanding so that you may move to next levels of meaning making process. So we now move to the inferential meaning. Is that clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Great. The second level of meaning is the inferential meaning. Inferential meaning implies that you read between the lines. تقرأ ما بين الأسطر. You move your eyes up and down between the lines, and your mind too. حتى عقلك تحرك. So readers interpret what is in the text. Here, there is nothing visible at all. Everything is invisible, so you need to interpret what is in the text. You also need to reason, to compare, to contrast, to classify, to analyze. You look for what passages represent or suggest. The exact answer, most importantly, the exact answer cannot be found directly in the text. The answer is between the lines, and this is your job, is to dig deep beneath the surface of the lines. تحتاج شوية تدخل أعمق في النص. This is called the second level of reading. Reading between the lines. You need to infer what is in the text. Now let's go back to talk about this story. The differential meaning involves determining what the text means. You start with this stated information already there, and this information is used to determine deeper meaning that is not directly stated. So in order to determine the inferential meaning, you are required to think about the text and draw a conclusion. ما نحتاج بالliteral meaning وإنما نحتاج بالinferential meaning.
Okay, so could I give my opinion about it?
I will give you just time. Let me complete, please. Getting back to Billy again, let me ask you a question. What inferential meaning could we get from our story? هذا السؤال. What inferential meaning could we get from our story?
May I say?
Yeah, please, you may.
The main idea, it is how more you work, how more you study, for example, you will get better and better. You will get more.
Well, thank you so much for this answer, but this is not really related to the question. The question is, what inferential meaning could we get from our story? Billy's story. ما هو المعنى الاستنتاجي أو المعنى اللي أنت توصلت له من هذه القصة؟ Anybody else?
Sir,
Yes, please.
the more you add, the better things become.
Well, this is far away from the answer, but okay, thank you. We could infer that ممكن أن نستدل أو نستنتج بأنه من يكمل لي Billy is
A builder?
Billy is, we could infer that Billy is, okay, here is the answer. Chart box, please. Is good at building towers. So you should think twice. You should think of the question, and you should think of the content itself. There is nothing visible in the story which states that Billy is good at building towers, but you can infer that. ماكو شيء مكتوب كجملة مثل هذه تقول Billy is good at building towers, but you can infer it. Just like when we say, for example, Ali gets Ali is smart, Ali is outstanding, Ali is so and so. He's one of the most recognized students among his colleagues, right? Oh, for instance, we say Ali gets always gets higher marks. يعني كمثال بسيط انه علي دائما يحصل على درجات عاليه. What do you infer? شنو تستنتج من هذا? We infer that Ali is what?
Intelligent student.
Is a clever student, right? The word clever is not mentioned in the text. يعني كلمة clever ما موجودة بالنص، بس احنا نستنتجها right? This is what is meant by inferential meaning. Any questions? A question about inferential meaning, any question raised about inferential meaning will make you provide examples from the text that back up your thinking. So here your thinking should work out. should work out.
العفو دكتور، يعني احنا بهذا المستوى الثاني مو المعنى شلون لازم نروح للفكرة الأساسية أو شلون مثل ناخذ اقتباس من القصة أو شلون نقول إنه مثلا هذا القصد
You read,
منه لازم
you read between the lines. You read between the lines. Just when we say, I've just given you an example. Ali always gets higher marks. Just you analyze this sentence and say, okay, this means that Ali is smart, Ali is clever, Ali is highly recognized by his teachers, and so on.
يعني نجمع دلالات ونطلع
جمعين
استنتاج.
دلالات وتعطينا يعني شنو المعنى بهذه الدلالة, right? For example, why could you assume that Billy is good at building towers? Why could you assume that Billy is good at building towers? يعني ليش خلاك تفترض أنه علي is good at building towers? This is another question.
Because he built it higher and higher. It doesn't fall.
Very, very good. What's your name?
زينب مؤيد.
What? Sorry?
زينب مؤيد.
Zainab Moyed. Because what? Because the story says that Billy's tower got higher and higher, and the design become more intricate with each other, with each block. Right? So inferential meaning could come in many different pictures. Could be generalizations, cause and effects, future predictions, unstated main ideas, and so on. This what all generalization is about. Cause and effect is about future predictions, unstated main ideas, and so on. The third level of meaning making is that you read beyond the lines. ما وراء الأسطر. This is a very hard job. Not every reader can do this. With lots of practice and over years, over practice, you can be really efficient readers. The third level is super abstract. مجرد. The answers are found beyond the lines. Readers move beyond the text to connect to universal meaning. The meaning that you experience in real life. Your experiences and the experiences of others are so important here. So you need to make connections wherever possible. The key questions include, why is it important? How does this text connect with your life, with all human beings, and so on? Tell me which type of novel you study?
Robinson Crusoe, sir.
Robinson Crusoe. This is one of the masterpieces of Daniel Defoe, right?
Yes, sir.
Exactly.
Correct.
So Robinson Crusoe is one of the masterpieces. Reflects many social, religious sides, بها جوانب دينية اجتماعية, and so on, right?
Yes, sir.
So when your teacher asks you, how do you connect this type of behavior, for example, Crusoe's behavior, to your life, for example? As you may know, that life is
دكتور الصوت.
لا هو الدكتور راح.
Sorry guys, back to the question now. How do you connect Crusoe's life, Crusoe's behaviors to your daily life situations?
By mentioning the common things.
Well, yeah, you need a type of reading that is actually super type of reading. That's what we call it. Okay. إذا الآن عندما أثير مثل هذا السؤال، كيف تربط سلوكيات روبنسون كروسو مع حياتك؟ ناخذ ولو جزء واحد من سلوكياته، ابتداء من disobedience مالته، العصيان لما عصى والده رايت وبدأ يفكر بالهجرة أو السفر. شلون من حياتك يعني من تجي لك هيك علامات استفهام؟ طبيعة القراءة لازم تكون مختلفة تماما. إنه من أقرأ ما أقرأ literal meaning ولا inferential meaning، أقرأ evaluative meaning. You have to analyze and evaluate. You have to analyze the text, evaluate it, and connect this to your life experiences and the experiences of others. So you have to connect stories. You have to make whatever possible in order to give a very comprehensive picture. So meaning making should be constructed, not transferred. إذا إنشاء المعنى أو تكوين المعنى هو ليس تناقليا، وإنما هو عملية بناء. Right?
All right, sir.
So great. So this is the third level. It's the highest level of meaning making. It's very complex. It requires you much effort, huge effort, in order to arrive at the highest level of effective reading. This is what we call the close reading process, in which you analytically and evaluatively read. تحلل أنت ناقدا. You critically read. تحلل تقرأ ناقدا عن طريق التحليل والتقييم. Right? Well, guys, this is all about reading process, the levels of reading process. Any questions, please?
Could you give us more examples about the third
Of
level?
course. I'm not going to give you the sorry, the same. I've just stated this. When you read beyond the lines, you need to come across new ideas. These ideas are not mentioned in the text. These ideas should be made available out of your experiences, out of life experiences, out of experiences of others. You need to make new insights. You need to develop different types of thinking that is mainly based on analysis and evaluation. Okay, I will give you this example, but in just like a practice. أعطيكم أمثلة لكن على شكل practice راح يكون تمرينات لكم. Okay, I will send it via Google Classroom. Okay, you will receive a short story in which you develop your questions at these three different levels: the literal, the inferential, and the evaluative meaning. And you answer these questions, and in such a process you will develop a new insight. Okay, guys?
Okay,
of course, after, hopefully,
right.
hopefully after this session I will send you this. Today just I presented at a very theoretical level, على مستوى نظري. I presented the levels of meaning, and these are so important. You need all the time, you need to think about reading process and how to make meaning out of reading. Okay, and reading and meaning making, they go together. They cannot be separated, right? Separate apart. So So please, any questions, and I'm ready to answer. Any concerns? Thank you so much, and I really appreciate. Thank you for joining. Thank you.
Thank you for an
Thank you,
interesting
sir.
lecture.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
هسه شباب.
Thank you, Doctor.
welcome. Thank you. طفيت التسجيل أنا هسه. أنا سديت
نعم.
التسجيل، يعني رسميا المحاضرة انتهت. راح تحول لكم
دكتور
إن شاء الله.
هالمحاضرة تنزل على اليوتيوب العفو؟
كافي. والله أنا يعني لازم أستقطع منها هواي أشياء. مثلا مرات تصير بحكي بالبداية أو بالنهاية
نعم.
شيء مو مكانه. I have to go each one يعني to go through each one separately and edit, and this is effortful, you know. Anyway, راح تنزلكم إن شاء الله practice. يعني now that you have learned about 3 levels of reading comprehension, I expect you now to be ready to put those into practice. So I will send you a Belize story, okay? And you are asked to develop literal meaning, inferential meaning, evaluative meaning by making some questions that identify each level of reading comprehension. And you are supposed also to provide with some sample answers. I will write these instructions on Google Classroom. Don't worry, okay, guys?
Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir.
Thank you so much. Any questions, please, before ending this session?
No, sir. Thank you.
Are you happy?
Was an intellectual, interesting lecture, sir.
Thank you. So, are you happy or not happy?
Of course, we are happy. We have seen you, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great. Good luck. Goodbye. Have a nice day.
Happy weekend,
You
sir.
too, sir.
Goodbye.
Yes, sir.
Welcome.
Goodbye, Doctor.